Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting the Reggie segment. I stuttered. Hello everybody and thank you for visiting my channel, the Reggie segment. Yes, as you read in the title, today we will be making an apple pie. America's favorite, and so is it mine. And this apple pie is called Apple Pie de Sabor. For this apple pie, you will need in your ingredients, you will need in your spices, 3-pound bag of Granny Smith apples, you will need 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, it does not matter the kind, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice, and 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now, some of you may be thinking, you're gonna put that in the apple pie? I never used that in apple pie. Well, that's what makes it special. Moving on to the pie gravy. Pie gravy? Yes, pie gravy. You will need 3 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of 100% lemon juice, and 1/3 cup of cornstarch. For your crust, you're gonna need 1 deep dish 9-inch pie crust. You can get it from the store in the frozen aisle. You're gonna need 1 roll-out pie crust. You're gonna need 1 egg for brushing, and you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of organic white cane sugar to make it nice and pretty. For your temperature and your time of cooking, you will need to set your oven to 350 degrees, and you will cook this pie for about 1 hour or 1 hour and 30 minutes, all depending on how your oven is. All right, now let's get into the video. Okay, so first, before we do anything, you want to grab your apples and you want to wash your apples off. I'm telling you, this is a very important step. Even though you're going to peel your apples, you still want to wash your apples off because apples come from a farm that has lots of pesticide, and you always want to do it. You always just want to wash off. You don't want that stuff on your hands to get on anything else that you are about to cook. So you go ahead and you grab your sponge, your soap, and throw them apples in that sink and clean them things off like they are dirty dishes in your grandmother's sink. And it's the middle of the night and she came downstairs and she see them dirty dishes in her sink. Wash them off. Alright, so now once your apples are washed off, you can go ahead and grab you a peeler, and like I said, you are going to peel your apples. I'm telling you, you do not want to leave that skin on your apples. It makes your pie rubbery, and listen, if you like skin on your apples and your pie, you do whatever you want to do. But this is how we are going to make Reggie's Apple Pie de Sabor. Alright, so go ahead and peel those apples and put them into a bowl. Once all your apples are peeled, what you are going to want to do is now core and slice your apples. Okay, now something that I do instead of having a corer, which I do have a corer, but what I have learned, a trick that I learned, is that you can take the apple and you can stand it up on its core and you can cut around the core and just cut all of the apple flesh off. Now, once you cut all the apple flesh off, you want to make sure to get any little pieces that are left inside of the apple from the core. You want to go ahead and core that out. Please don't do like me and hold it up in the air with the knife in your hand. I have been cut plenty of times, and I don't want you, if this is your first time cooking, to say, well, Reggie said. No, Reggie did not. Reggie showed you, but Reggie is saying, okay? Do as Reggie say, not as Reggie do, as some parents would say. So you go ahead and slice your apples. You can cut them into slices just like this. Not too thin, not too thick, but you want to cut them into nice, decent sized slices because you're going to put just about every apple in this pie, okay? So go ahead and slice those up and put them back in your bowl. Alright, so now that you are done slicing up those apples, you want to go ahead and grab your spices. Remember at the beginning of the video, all of those spices, the white sugar, the brown sugar, the lemon, the vanilla, the coriander, the cloves, the nutmeg, the allspice, the cinnamon, the everything. Just go ahead and grab your spices, and what you want to do is you want to take those spices and you want to put them in bowls. You want to go ahead and take those measurements and put your spices in bowls. You can combine your sugar, you can combine your nutmeg and your allspice, your cinnamon and all those things, and you can combine your dry and your wet. Of course, when you get to your cornstarch, you also want to do your cornstarch. Take your cornstarch and put that in a separate bowl and just put it all to the side, because when it's time to bake, we just want to hurry up and go ahead in. We ain't got time to be measuring stuff out as we go. Okay, now once you have all of those spices measured out in separate bowls, now it's time to make the pie gravy. Yes, I said I was going to tell you what the pie gravy was. Listen, pie gravy, you can put this stuff on apple cobbler, you can put it in peach cobbler, you can use it for pies, you can use it in anything you want. It is the mixture of the creme de la creme. You just gonna take it, and this is what you're gonna spoon into your pie later, okay? So now what you're gonna do is take your water, and you're gonna take your sugar and your spices, both brown sugar and white sugar, and all of those spices, and you're gonna put them in a pot on the stove, and you're gonna put it on medium heat and just stir it. Make sure it's all stirred and incorporated. You're gonna stir that until it starts to smoke. Just a little bit of smoke. You don't want it to boil too much, but you're gonna stir it until it smokes. All right, now that you have put a little bit of heat to your pie gravy, now what you're gonna do is, gravy wouldn't be anything if it was too thin, so you're gonna go ahead and take that cornstarch. Yes, your cornstarch should be in a separate bowl, remember that? You're gonna take it and you're gonna spoon, or you're gonna measure in about 1 cup of that pie gravy into your cornstarch. Now, the reason that I do it on the side is because you do not want it to be clumps of cornstarch in your pie gravy. You do not want it to be clumps of cornstarch in your pie gravy. So this is just like regular gravy. You want to stir it on the side and go ahead and incorporate that nice and well. Because once that's well incorporated, what we're going to do is we're going to pour it in our gravy. Alright, as you can see, we're now going to pour our cornstarch mixture into our gravy. You kind of want to whisk it in, so that way it doesn't lump up. You want to whisk it in, and it should not feel different yet, but the color will change. It will get a little bit lighter in color. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to stir that until it thickens up. Alright, now that you have been stirring for a couple of minutes, you should see it starts to look like this. This is thick, but this is not as thick as it can get. As you can see on the whisk, when it comes up, it is thick, but it's not that thick. So you want to keep on stirring, and for a couple more minutes. You want to stir this for about a total of 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, and you should be able to tell when it gets really thick. Alright, now when it's thick enough, it's going to be boiling. It's going to be boiling hot, just like this. And you're going to stir it, and it's going to be a little hard to stir. It's going to be just like gravy, because this is pie gravy. So you're going to go ahead, and you're going to take it off the heat at this time. Alright, now it is assembly time. Yes, this is that time during the pie where, just like when you were in elementary school, you would go down to the gymnasium, and all the children would be together, and they'll be like, yes, we can get out of class. It's assembly time. This is your time to assemble your pie. Pie. Yes, you're going to assemble the pie. This is my favorite part. So you're going to go ahead and take your pie crust, both your rollout and your pie crust that's already in the pan. You're going to take those, and you're going to have those to assemble your pie. Now, what you should have done at the beginning was taken these out of the refrigerator. This pie, I would say, should be made the night before your engagement, because it is better when it sits. You do not slice this pie fresh out the oven. If you slice it fresh out the oven, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to have a wet pie. You're going to have a pie that is runny and juicy. Not saying that that's bad, but that's not an ideal pie. So you want to go ahead and you want to have your pie crust and everything. You want to take that out of the freezer the night before and put it in the refrigerator. All right, now with these nice cold pie and stuff, what you want to do is take your apples, and you want to pile your apples into your pie. Now, like I said at the beginning, most of these apples are going to go into your pie. We're going to make this pie nice and high. This is going to be a very thick pie, because apples cook down. Apples hold a lot of moisture, and they cook down, seriously. So you want to go ahead and pile this up. All right, once you have piled up your pie, now what you're gonna do is take that pie gravy. So for those of you who are trying to figure out what this pie gravy is for and why you didn't put the apples in it before, some people like to cook their apples down, but this pie is gonna be in that oven for about an hour to an hour and a half. I'm telling you, the apples will be cooked down enough without being mashed. All right, so what you're gonna do is just take a couple of spoonfuls. You can find a spoon just like this, a nice big spoon in your kitchen drawer, and spoon a few spoonfuls of the pie gravy into the pie. Once you have spooned a few spoonfuls of the gravy into the pie, you just go put it right in the center. What you want to do is stop when it gets to this amount right here. It should not be full to the brim because we don't want your pie to overfill, but it should be just enough at the bottom that your apples can soothe in it and get marinated in it. Okay, now what you're gonna do with that top crust, that rollout crust, you're just gonna take it and just lay it right on top of your pie. Now this is where you can get creative. You can do lace if you want to. I personally don't do lace because I like to keep all my juices in this pie. But I just threw it right over top of it, and then you're gonna fork it down and cut off the edges. Once you've forked it down and you've cut down the edges, what you're gonna do is just cut 4 little slits in the top of the pie. This is gonna allow the steam to escape so that way your pie doesn't burst open on the sides and stuff. And then what you're gonna do is take that one egg that should be sitting out so it can be nice at room temperature. You're gonna take it and brush your pie. Once you brush your pie with the egg, then you're gonna go ahead and sprinkle that white cane sugar over top just to get a nice crystallization over top of your pie. Once you've done all of that, you want to go ahead and take your pie and put it on a baking sheet. This will help to level it, so that way there is nothing wobbly in your pie. And then also this will help that if the pie does overflow, which is likely, or if a piece of crust drops, it doesn't burn in your oven. So go ahead, grab you some foil and put it over top of your baking sheet, and go ahead and put your pie on it and slide that pie in the oven. And remember, it's going to cook for about an hour to an hour and a half, all depending on your oven temperature. Okay, now, once you have cooked that pie for your hour, you are going to pull the pie out of the oven and just look at it. Look at that. Look at that pie. Look at that nice crystallization of the sugar, and look at the nice brownness from the egg. This is why all of these ingredients are important. This is exactly why all of the ingredients are important. And remember, that pie gravy, you can use that for something else. So yes, that was 1 cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar, but all of that sugar did not go into this pie. I know that some of you were probably looking at it like, oh my gosh, like, oh, he's trying to kill us. No, I'm not trying to kill you. That can be used for about 2 more pies, okay? So once you get your pie like this, remember, do not cut it. I repeat, do not cut it. This pie is not ready. You want to let this pie sit. If you are going to eat it that day, you want to let this pie sit for about 4 or 5 hours to completely cool. My recommendation would be to let it cool and then put it in the refrigerator and take it out the next day, and you will get something just like this. Now, I didn't take a video of it because, well, I ate all the pie, but I got you a nice picture of the pie. Do you see the nice thickness and the solidness of that pie? That is what you want in your pie. Okay, well, I thank you guys for visiting my channel once again. I hope you all enjoyed this apple pie video, and I hope that a lot of you are staying safe during this COVID-19 pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it. It's everything but good-demic, I can tell you that. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's all right. I just made it up. It ain't a good-demic. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope that you are looking forward to seeing more. Please comment, like, subscribe, put the thumbs down button if you have to, and leave a comment down below to let me know how I did for my second video. All right, you guys, I thank you so much, and I hope that you have learned something today for making apple pie. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Hello. Wait, why am I upside down? Hello everybody, and thank you for watching this video. If you liked it and you want to see more content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down here. Yep, hit it. Hit that subscribe button. And also, if you would like to see more videos, go ahead and check it out down there. And if you would like to see my weekly motivational playlist, you can click that right over there. All right, you guys, have a great day.